Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Worldwide Wrestling Podcast of Worldwide Wrestling. We are here coming to you live and loud from the mean streets of Central Illinois.
Of Corn Street.
Yes, Corner Street, Central IL. And it is April 26, 2017. We are several days away from first WWE pay-per-view after WrestleMania. Coming up on us, WrestleMania simultaneously feels like it was 2 months ago and just last night. So,
And even a little bit further. Like
Yes.
sometimes it feels like a year ago because of what they've done with the split and stuff. So it's all in the rear view.
it is. It was the ultimate thrill ride, and now it's in our rear view.
Now it's time for payback.
And now it's time for payback. Exactly. Speaking of which, that is a great Mel Gibson movie.
Yes,
Um,
it is. It's maybe one of his best.
It is.
movies
It's
ever.
fantastic. It's awesome. Anyways, thank you for joining us, everybody, and we are your wrestling podcasting sons of guns, the hosts of the WWPWW. I'm Caleb, your everyday Dean Ambrose.
And I'm Jeremy, the James Ellsworth of our show, I guess.
Your facial hair is far superior.
He's a good guy.
Yeah,
James Ellsworth.
he's fantastic. He's fantastic. Even though what he's in right now is kind of he's making it work.
Yeah.
He is making it work.
Yeah.
So that's right. We got our weekly recaps of Raw and the SmackDown, and then we will go into the predictions for WWE Payback. So
But first, here are some news bits. Some things I've read the last couple of days that I thought were interesting. First off, I had something first, but since you did our opener as Ric Flair, Rick has taken to Twitter to say that his fiance has been hospitalized in a car crash.
ooh,
He's asking for prayers. So if you would, those of you who are listening, hi Ryan, please pray and that everything is fine. I think if the picture I saw is any indication, it looks like she's okay, but I don't know any more than that. So Ric Flair's fiance Wendy was injured in a car accident. Please keep her and their family in your prayers. The second big piece of interesting bit is Vince McMahon biopic, or biopic, however you want to pronounce
it's
that word.
it's biopic. I hate it when people say biopic. That drives me absolutely bananas.
See, that's all I've heard that name, and so when people were actually pronouncing it biopic, I'm like, it's biopic. But you're right,
Yeah,
it is biopic.
It's biographical picture.
Yeah.
So
And so, and I get that. So Vince McMahon, there is a biopic coming
Mhm.
from WWE Studios, so it'll be biased as all get out.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Even though I think we're all interested in seeing what it's going to be about, it's not from outside of WWE,
Mhm.
which I would rather watch. But still, I'll be interested in seeing it. What about you? Would you be interested in seeing a WWE produced Vince McMahon biopic?
I would actually. I would, because the dude's had a very interesting life. So it'd be kind of cool to see. Like, I don't know if he had like an autobiography or a or a biography that was written about him or anything like that. That it's going to be based off of, or they can pull from. But like, yeah, the dude's had a very interesting life, very interesting business career. So I would love to see how Vince McMahon came up in the in the wrestling world. Following in the footsteps of his dad, and just buying and absorbing all the other territories and creating it. Instead of a territory system, now it's a global enterprise, basically. And so all that stuff really fascinates me. It always has. And so I think that would be really cool to see happen. Yeah, they probably will paint Vince McMahon in a very, saint-esque light, I'm sure. But, I don't really know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Like he, it's not like, it wouldn't be like a Donald Trump biopic or like a,
Right.
oh man, what's that guy? Like, I just blanked on his name. There's a guy who was like, I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. He was a businessman, really shady businessman and stuff like that.
Bernie Madoff?
Yes, Bernie Madoff. Yeah, who took all it. Like if those guys were like, hey, I'm gonna produce my own biopic. I mean, it would be this, oh wow, this guy's a saint, but Vince McMahon has nowhere near the level of controversy and sleaze and terribleness that they have to that point. I mean, yeah, sure, there are some things about Vince McMahon that you're just like, oh, come on, Vince, what?
Yeah, there are like eras in his life, like the steroid scandal. Like apparently there was a sexual scandal which I don't know about. But when I was looking into this stuff, I watched someone like name off all these things. I was like, I knew about the steroids thing. I knew about a couple others, but some of the other stuff I didn't know about. But I'm assuming they're not going to put.
Mm-hmm.
They might put the steroids thing in there.
Oh yeah, I'd imagine they would probably put that in there.
Because that's a pretty defining moment in his career, essentially, and in sports entertainment for that matter. I want to know who's going to play Vince. I want to know who's going to play.
I actually had a thought.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw it to you.
Hulk Hogan, Vince. I mean, all these guys who are going to play.
Throw it to you. What if Shane played Vince?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Shane would have to do the voice, but he'd have to change his voice because Shane just has a regular everyday like, hey, how you doing, buddy, kind of voice, and Vince, like even when he's not embellishing the voice, like his voice is still pretty deep and not too far removed from that.
Yeah.
So, or maybe just Shane will just do it, but then Vince will dub him. No, that'd be.
Or is this going to be a cartoon?
Or is it going to be a cartoon?
Is this going to be so Vince can voice himself?
Yeah, maybe it'll be like The Incredibles. Yeah. It'll be like a Pixar movie or something. But yeah, no, that's really cool. I hadn't heard about that. That really fascinates me.
That just came out today that I stumbled over.
I mean, obviously, if Andre's in it, they would get Big Show to play Andre because that'd be awesome.
That would be pretty cool.
That'd be fascinating. I don't know who would play Hogan really because there's nobody I can think of right now who's like, that tall and that big. They probably have to try to find. I mean, maybe get Chris Hemsworth to play Hogan.
To shave his head in that spot. Yeah.
Shave the top of his head and have him get beefed up like he was back in Thor. But
so yeah, I think casting would be the most interesting thing about this movie.
You know what we should do?
What's that?
Next week.
Future cast it.
Let's do if we were casting this movie.
Yeah.
Let's do that. So next week, let's do that. That'll be fun.
Cool.
We'll bring in our casts. All right, cool.
All right, another piece of news, kind of some smaller news that leads into bigger news. The WWE has released several NXT talent.
Mm-hmm.
There was an announcer in there as well. There was just I think it was one of them was the 2015 Tough Enough winner, which I can't remember his name for the life of me, and then a couple others. But also in that list, Morrow was in that list.
Mm-hmm.
They granted his release from his contract, and Tajiri.
Really?
Tajiri has decided to go back to Japan, which is extremely sad for me. But they have. Is it Tozawa? What is his name?
Akira Tozawa.
Yeah, Tozawa. I mean, they have him, and so there is that. But Tajiri decided to go back. Is going back to Japan. Morrow has been granted his release, and so we'll see what happens with Morrow. There's actually some thought that maybe Impact Wrestling could pick Morrow up, but there's also some news with Impact. There was a big kerfuffle between the Jarretts and another guy on this past week taping of Impact Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
They're still working together, so we'll see. Impact is not stable right now.
Yeah.
So, anyway. The last thing I want to mention is news only because WWE posted it, and so it's obviously not real.
Mm-hmm.
Baron Corbin has been suspended for a week and has been fined for his attack on Sami Zayn after, I don't know if it was after the match or on Talking Smack, I can't remember. What do you think about this? What do you think the end game could be? Because from what I understand, they want to push Baron Corbin more so than they are pushing Braun.
Mm-hmm.
So they want Baron Corbin to be the main guy right now. Why suspend him? Why come out and Shane getting on Twitter and it's like, oh, we suspended Baron Corbin for his actions against Sami Zayn for blah 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 blah. What do you think?
Heel heat, make him look like a bad boy. That's all I can think of. Because I could see him crashing the party, so to speak, next week and
next week.
Yeah, pulling out. I don't know. He seems like a guy who would drive a big truck. So maybe he crashes. Not crashes because they don't want to damage the arena. But he comes in in his truck and they're like, what? Whoa, that's Baron Corbin. What? You know, like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my God, it's Baron Corbin. Rah! You know, like, that was my JBL impression. But so yeah, I think it's just that them just. I'm sure some people totally fell for it, just like they did the the thing with Braun and Roman, the whole petition thing. That was funny.
Yeah, once it's up on Twitter and once it's on their website, unless you know for sure that the person is seriously injured,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you're gonna have a fake news thing on WWE thing website, which is kind of crazy because Trump's all about not fake news and now WWE something that he's been part of is putting out fake news.
Yeah, one of his best friends is the
which they're doing about Kalisto too, but we'll get to that because Kalisto was seriously quote unquote injured this past week on Raw. Anyway, that's my news for today. If you have anything that you heard or
no. I think we can jump right into Monday Night Raw.
Right on.
All right, Jeremy, Monday Night Raw. What'd you think of it? What worked for you? What didn't work for you? Overall, as a show, how was it? Take it away.
I thought it was an okay show. I didn't get to see some of the stuff that was on air, like Finn Balor.
Yeah, my DVR messed up.
Oh.
And so I had to delete Raw, and so then I
delete.
Yeah, I had to delete Raw, and so I just had to watch it on Hulu.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I didn't get to see that stuff either. So I was like, what? No Finn? No Samoa Joe? No Seth Rollins? I was like, yeah, they probably cut all that out for. That's why they should at least make it 2 hours, so they could fit more of that stuff in there. Because Jeremy, Hulu, I'm gonna steal something.
Okay.
This is gimmick infringement, I know, but it needs to be done. Hulu, you know what happens? Hulu, do you know what happens when you cut Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, and Samoa Joe out of Monday Night Raw on Hulu? Hulu, do you know what happens? You just made the list!
The list of Caleb.
I'm not really holding a pad, they don't know.
Yeah, well, now they do. Yeah. Yeah. That is the thing. That's the crappy thing about Hulu.
Yeah.
They don't put the some of the really good stuff that we really want.
Who did he? Do you know who he had a match with or a segment with? Finn Balor.
Yeah, it was Enzo. They attacked Enzo. The
club.
The club attacked Enzo, hurt him, and so it was Cass and Finn. I think there might have been one other person, but I can't remember if it was a 6-man or if it was a tag team. Regular tag team match, but it was Finn and Cass, I know, which I would have enjoyed to see.
Me too.
Kind of weird. Again, Finn against the club.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, the club against the club is basically what it was. So that would have been interesting, but we didn't get to see that.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and we didn't get to see Seth Rollins supposedly stealing one of Kenny Omega's moves.
Yeah. Which is okay. I mean, again, and like King Ross said. I don't know if you saw the Raw WTS.
I haven't watched either of them yet.
Basically, he basically said, get over it because all wrestling is people stealing stuff from the past or stuff. It's like everybody's moves is everybody else's moves and all that stuff. So just let's get over it.
That's how I kind of felt too. I was just like, there's only so many moves
you
can do, and he's beaten Triple H. That whole thing is done, so he can stop using the pedigree. Yes. He's exorcised his demons, so to speak. He's redeemed himself, like he talked about. So the pedigree is done. It's part of his, past. And so, the curb stomp is prohibitado to talk about. It's just like the muscle buster. It's like, the moves aren't bad. It's, like I read an article talking about why Samoa Joe's muscle buster shouldn't have been exiled, and why the curb stomp shouldn't either. It's like, it's not the move that is hurting them, so to speak. It's A, the profession that they're in, like they know there's risks, and B, typically if it's a move somebody does over and over and over again, like people always like, oh, AJ Styles hurt so many people with the Styles Clash back in the day, back in TNA and stuff, and this and this and this, and it's just like, well, I mean, you can't really, I don't know. It's a big thing. Sometimes it is the person's fault, but most of the time it's either A, it's part of the profession, it's part of their job, and B, it's also part of You know, like it could be, you know, the other person doesn't know how to take the move properly. You know, they can, like, you know, Ziggler, when he took the Styles Clash, he knew how to do it.
Yep.
You know, and then Ellsworth sometimes puts his head.
I think he learned after that first time.
That one time he took it, he put his head down. It's just like, yep, he could have just bashed his face in or broken his neck. It was goofy, you know. But so yeah, it's yeah. So yeah, but anyways, going back to the main thing. Yeah, I was just kind of like, yeah, there's only so many moves out there, you know, and I don't know how familiar he is at all with Kenny Omega. Like,
oh, I'm sure he watched that match. I'm sure he's pretty familiar.
You know, so I don't know if he knows like in Kenny's entire moveset. Like
that yeah.
You know, like, because I don't know if Kenny Omega did that move or not in that match. Like, I can't remember, but
I think he did. I think he tried.
But
if he didn't do it,
you know, so yeah. I mean, and Seth Rollins had been adopting the Triple H running high knee thing anyway, so this is just kind of a variant of that. So, but yeah. Anyways, moving on. Sorry, Jeremy.
Yeah, the things I thought worked really, really well were a lot of the talking points. I'm trying to think of the matches. There weren't a whole lot of matches that I cared about. The things I enjoyed. Here's the things I enjoyed. I enjoyed anytime Dean Ambrose and Chris Jericho were on screen. They two of the best comedians in WWE, and so anytime they were on the screen was great. Another thing that I really, really enjoyed, I enjoyed the outcome of the Sheamus Matt Hardy match. They continue to, like, there was some heat at the end, and so you felt like, well, Sheamus is always hot-headed.
Yeah.
He's going to be one, but Cesaro is the hot-headed one at this time, and then eventually they shake hands. I'm interested in that match. That's what the last two, you know, Sheamus versus Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy versus Cesaro, those two matches, it makes me want to see this match even more. So they did a great job, in my opinion, with that. The other things that I really liked, I take it back. I really liked the dumpster match.
Yeah.
It was better than I thought.
I didn't know what to expect, but when I saw it pushed right up, I was like, oh, this is a casket match.
Yes.
But with the dumpster, like, I thought it was going to be like a backstage thing, and I'm like, how's he going to lift Braun up and put him in the dumpster? Like, how's he going to, like, but then when they came out to the ring and the dumpster was right there against it, I was like, oh, this is a casket match with a dumpster.
Yep.
Now it makes perfect sense, because I was just racking my brain, like, how are they going to do it? What, are they going to have, like, stairs leading up to the dumpster?
Another thing, another thing that I really, really enjoyed was Alexa Bliss in the ring. Everything she said. She didn't necessarily quiet the whats, but she made that work for her when she said, Alexa Bliss is the best. Say what? What? Exactly. And she kept on going.
That was fantastic.
She was really good. And everything that she said about Bayley was great. I thought you lived in Candyland and all that stuff was really, really fun. She did a really, really good job. And honestly, everything I would want to say to Sasha, she did. Part 3000, the Sasha Bayley sideshow. Like, I agree with Alexa, because I'm tired of this. Turn Sasha heel, which it's coming. I think it's coming soon. Maybe at Payback, or maybe starting in Payback. Let's see. I'm trying to think of the other stuff. I guess the only two other things that I thought were funny were Rhino coming in with his plate of crackers and cheese, and his facial expressions were really, really good. And then Austin Aries, like the one thing I don't understand is, because we didn't get to see any of the cruiserweights. Austin Aries says, "I want to bring a twist of greatness to the cruiserweights." What is that? Like, what is that going to be? Like a change in the cruiserweight stuff, or what that's going to be? And then I've got a snack for you. Gives him a banana. That was fun. And then the Drifter coming behind him with the whole tag team thing. That was great.
Yeah. No, not him.
Interesting choice. I don't know him.
Yeah.
And so that was really, really funny. Those are the things that I enjoyed about Raw. What were the things that you enjoyed about Raw?
Pretty much all the same things. Yeah. The opening with the Jericho highlight reel, and then became Miz TV, and then became the Ambrose Asylum. Those three guys were just bloody brilliant together. Like, that whole opening segment, whatever, like 17 minutes long or whatever, I didn't care. It was fantastic. I didn't want it to end. It's good seeing Jericho and Ambrose kind of patching things up and, like, getting on the same page, kind of. That was funny. The part giving him the new jacket, that was brilliant. That was hilarious, and I just and I love where he's like, hey Maurice, you know what happens when your husband is a stupid idiot? you know, you know what happens when you're married to the Miz? Maurice, you just made the list and stuff like.
Her face was great.
That was fantastic. Just go watch it. Like, we just can't do it justice enough talking about it. Like, the whole opening scene of Raw was amazing. I loved it.
Yeah, Simon Miller, you idiot. You stupid idiot.
You didn't like it?
I didn't like it.
Oh, Simon, come on. Simon, you're one of my favorites. Come on.
he was tired. He's tired of the whole talk show thing.
Oh.
And like, I get that, but this was
this was great. Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, I loved how he's just like, watch out for the Shaq, Chris, you can stand wherever you want, buddy. Like,
Yeah, because before when they were trying to roll up the carpet for the Miz, Chris was just standing there, like, oh, I'm supposed to move, type stuff. That was really funny.
Yeah, and he's just like, just the whole thing was great, and yeah, it was awesome. And then the segment with him backstage, was great when he was like, you know what happened. You know what happens, Dean Ambrose, when you get Chris Jericho a brand new light-up coat that looks like it was from Paris? Dean Ambrose, you unmade the list! Like, all that stuff backstage was funny. And then he seemingly puts him back on.
Yeah.
So, and then he has that look on his face, that Chris Jericho look.
There's apparently a video after everything goes away that he puts everybody on Kansas City on the list. he's talking Kansas City. I put you on the list, stuff like that. So that's really
yeah. That would have been funny if instead of Dean Ambrose, he just put Kansas City.
Yeah, exactly.
Take that, Kansas City. But yeah, so all that stuff was good, and then the match. The one part that tickled me was where before the surprise entrant. We'll get to that later at the end. I'm sure you were kind of holding that for the end. Where they're ganging up on Miz, and then his sunglasses go flying off, and Jericho puts them on.
Yep. And it cuts to the commercial.
And like, yeah, and then he just like puts his arms on the ropes and just looks at the crowd. Like, that was just fantastic, and just a little thing that only Chris Jericho could make work.
Yep.
But yeah, that was great. Yeah, the dumpster match was surprisingly good too. It's like, man, Kalisto every so often is in these weird matches where you're like, what? And then you watch him, like, because the chairs match with Baron Corbin, and now the dumpster match with Braun Strowman, you're like, okay, that was good.
Yeah.
And all the problems people have with Kalisto, I have with Sin Cara.
Yeah.
Because I don't mind Kalisto at all. I really, really don't. But
I don't think he's a botch guy like they think he is.
Yeah.
He might be maybe a tad careless at times, but nothing.
Yeah, because like I see on the internet and like all this stuff, like all these people, hating on Kalisto and stuff like that. And I was like, I actually like him. I don't mind him at all. Like, he is that Ultimo Dragon, Rey Mysterio Jr. type of guy. But every generation needs that type of guy.
Yes.
Come on, and he's really good. He's very good at what he does. But yeah, like everything that people say about him, like I'm like, really? Because I feel that way about Sin Cara. So
what did you think of his ring attire wasn't what he wore at WrestleMania? What did you think of his ring attire and his new music?
Awesome. I really liked it.
The only part I didn't like about the music was the lucha part.
Really?
Like, if they would have went into the techno stuff and then do the lucha, that would have been fine. I didn't like the voice in the lucha, but once it got into the music, I was down with it. I love his outfit.
Yeah,
I wish he would cut
cool.
his dragon thing off.
Yeah,
because it looks like he doesn't look good to me. And just do the mask, but I think it's cool.
It is very cool. Yeah, his new attire. Yeah, like the red and black kind of like Darth Maul looking mask. It was really cool. Yeah, I liked all that. But yeah, the match was. I thought Braun losing was very, very crazy, and yeah, like I didn't see that coming at all. Like, yeah, that was crazy. Like, but I didn't hate it, and props to them because it was so out of left field that I was like, what? But
yeah, and it gives like because we get Roman and Braun this Sunday. It gives Braun more anger going into this match. That he's gonna take out what happened to Kalisto. He took it out on Kalisto, but he's gonna take it out on Roman even more. Like he lost a match. One of my favorite things about this match is when Corey Graves says Kalisto has become the garbage pail kid. That was funny.
that was funny. But yeah, and then I liked when he threw Kalisto in there, you couldn't for some because Braun's just so tall already, you couldn't tell. But when he threw Kalisto in there, you're like, oh geez, it looks like there's like 3 feet of like mattresses or pads or whatever in there. So I'm sure he grabbed some of them and put them up against the side that it went off of.
I think he probably was standing feet because it's a really short stage. So my guess is his feet was at the end and he just stood up and, like you said, patted himself a little bit. And Cora was watching. Cora actually watched all of Raw this week.
Oh wow.
Which was interesting. But she was watching. She's like no. Oh, and she was worried about Kalisto. It was really cute.
That's funny, but yeah, that was good. Yeah, absolutely right. You are. Alexa Bliss is fantastic. Few people can command a room, command the crowd like that, because they'll be like, yeah, Alexa Bliss, and then she'll start talking. They're just like, ugh, Alexa Bliss. Yeah, I don't like her. Like, because she's so good at what she does, people cheer like crazy, and then she gets in the ring and she's so good at what she does, you boo her because she's.
And I feel like she gets better every time she comes out.
I'd agree with that for sure. Yeah, like, yeah, she was on point. Everything she did, her and Bailey's back and forth was good. I really enjoyed that. And then yeah, everything she said to Sasha, I agree, needed to be said. Yep. Oh wow, it's part 13,000 or whatever she said, some big number. Yeah, yeah, that was great. And yeah, I want to see all those combinations. I want to see Sasha versus Alexa. I want to see Alexa versus Bailey. Like, yeah, I think that'd be awesome. So, and then a triple threat, even.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the women's division on Raw is just getting better and better, and so, looks pretty good.
Yeah, no Nia Jax this week, right?
Yeah.
Not that I saw.
I don't know if she was on something that got cut out, or if I think Alicia Fox and Dana Brooke had a match that got cut out.
From Hulu.
Yeah, from stinking Hulu. But yeah, I really enjoyed the Hardys and Cesaro. I'm just gonna call them that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, so I enjoyed that whole thing. That was good. The match was really good. The storytelling after was really good. So that gets a big a big up from yours truly. And I can't think of anything else right now off the top of my head.
Outside of the main event?
Outside of the main event, yeah. I can't really think of much else. But yeah, overall, I thought it was really good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I already said that. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else about the main show outside of the main event. I mean, there was a Bray Wyatt promo that I didn't really care for. Other than that, I thought as ever, the production on the video packages for the Braun Roman Reigns feud were excellent. They do that's the best thing that they do, is they have top-notch producers, top-notch production value on everything that they do. Video. I can't remember the last time I watched a video and I was like, oh, that's just really stupid from them. The one other thing before we get to the main event that I wanted to say was, thank you, Kansas City, for being the crowd that you needed to be. There were a couple times that actually there wasn't many times when I was watching and I was like, man, Kansas City, you're about as jerk as everything else. There was equal opportunity, lovers of Roman Reigns and haters of Roman Reigns, which is a breath of fresh air, because you go anywhere else and people hate Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
There were actual chants for Roman's name.
Yeah, we want Roman.
We got both, but it was equal.
Yeah.
And so, thank you, Kansas City, for being the crowd that I enjoy listening to.
Yes. And like somebody said on Twitter, please be respectful during this time.
Yeah.
Like, somebody's like, please be respectful during this time. And it's like, yeah, Roman Reigns is a character on TV that you may not like. Joe Anoa'i is a human being who just lost his big brother. So
the only big brother, the only blood brother the only big brother he's got.
Yeah, because he has a ton of sisters, but yeah. So yes, I thought the crowd was very good. Like, they did the what chance at Alexa, but she's a bad guy, so it wasn't a big deal. And then she commanded them.
Iowa, not so much. They were okay, but there were points where I was just like, let's go back to Kansas City, because they were a good crowd in Kansas City. You did a homeboy proud, Kansas City.
Do it, yeah. Congrats. Just do Raw and SmackDown at Kansas City.
Yeah.
Every week until Roman Reigns gets over and they stop saying what in CM Punk.
Yeah.
Just keep Kansas City until that. Anyways.
So let's move on to the main event. Caleb, what did you think about the main event?
Yeah, I thought this was crazy. The match itself, I was just like, who's it gonna be? Who's gonna come out? What, him and Kurt Angle had a back and forth, at the end, and he's like, oh, my guy, my partner, he's not here, whatever. So I guess we'll just have to postpone. And Kurt Angle's just like, nope. I said no matter what, you're gonna do this as a tag or you're gonna do this as a handicap. And so the match is going on, and then it looks like Dean Ambrose is going for dirty deeds on the table, and then and then also Bray Wyatt is standing where Miz was, and that was just crazy. Like, that they pulled it off really well.
Yes.
And now that is happening. Then they're all brawling on the stage, and I like when he did. I can't remember if it was Jericho or Ambrose. I think Jericho. He did the Sister Abigail into the Minitron, movie ribbon thing.
Yep.
And so then he's like, he just looks at Miz and he's like, take him to the ring, and then Miz is just like, okay, like he's like scared, and then when he is doing his thing, Miz comes up and just puts his hand on his shoulder and is smiling and raising, like that whole thing was great, and then he just does the Sister Abigail to Miz and stuff. So it was crazy. I don't want to say I was perplexed, like I was like I was mildly confused because I just didn't quite, because Randy obviously wasn't there, so they had to do something to show how determined and how evil and how crazy Bray Wyatt is. I get that, but yeah, it was I don't know, something just kind of felt askew. Like it did make Bray look determined and strong going into Payback, but yeah, it just felt slightly off. Like it was like oh yeah, they're really driving this home. But then the Miz and him were able to kind of make it a little better there at the end, and then he just, oh yeah, I'm your tag team partner, and then hits him with the thing. But
it was a little like, I agree with you. It was a little flat. It was just kind of like, okay, this is just for the fact that there's Payback coming up, and so yeah, it made sense from that, but it didn't make sense in the grand scheme of things. Like, why would Bray Wyatt want to tag with the Miz?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that makes no sense whatsoever. So, other than the fact that they're trying to tell a story, which that makes sense, but the fact that it was Bray, okay, whatever. And I felt like the ending was funny, but it just kind of fell flat as well. Just like, oh, that's the end. Okay.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, like, yeah. Roman has a lot on his plate, understandably so. So, but I mean, I was still kind of like hoping he would make an appearance in some capacity, but understandably so. He's got a lot going on right now, so he wasn't there. So
he was there.
Oh, he was. He actually was there.
He was there. They were going to use him, but then they pulled him back because they wanted him to show up at Payback to have that feeling of, because he's hurt, and then going to Payback, and it's like, what is Roman going to look like going to Payback?
Okay.
And so they kind of pulled him back.
I wonder if he'll have like bandaged arms or a brace or I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure they'll do something like that. Because like on the house show, the circuit, they've been going against each other, and Roman had like a big like cast looking like wrapping on one of his arms or something like that to play up the whole injury angle. So.
Yep.
So I don't know if they'll do something like that, but okay, so he actually was there. So
yeah, he was there. He just they decided not to use him
because I felt like that could have been a good way to end the show, with Roman and Braun, or they could have ended the show with Samoa Joe and Seth Rollins. End the show on a high note. End the show with some major heat. End the show with a big crescendo. So
yeah, and there wasn't. You're right. There wasn't a crescendo. It was just we get it. Bray has a match this week, and they're trying to hype it, which makes sense because I think we're all kind of like, what is a House of Horrors match going to be like? There are rumors that it's going to start taped and then end in the ring. So we'll see.
Interesting.
We'll see what happens. I doubt they do it again. I bet this will be one and only time. So we'll see.
All right, cool.
Well, that was Raw. On a scale of 1 to 5 Stone Cold IPAs, what would you give it?
I would give it a 3.5. I was gonna say a 3, but I was like, nah, the beginning part. The beginning part gets a perfect 5 out of 5 because I know sometimes you split it up like that.
Yep.
Yeah, that gets perfect 5 out of 5, and all the other stuff was really decent. So easy 3.5, mainly because of that opening segment.
Yep, I agree with you. Beginning anything with Chris and Dean gets a 5. Anything they did because they were great. Alexa gets a 4, but the rest of the show gets a 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
It was a solid show. Not great as a go home show. The only real match I'm looking forward to the Roman Braun match.
Me too.
To see what they do there. I'm really actually looking forward to the tag team championship match. I don't know who's going to win that. We'll talk about that later.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know who's going to win that. But I'm interested in seeing what happens at the end because both Cesaro and Sheamus have held their tempers, if you will. See what happens. So for me, a 3.5. Alexa Bliss, you get a 4, and Dean and Chris, you get a 5 because you're brilliant. All right. Well, moving on to SmackDown Live, Caleb. What were the good things about SmackDown Live in your opinion?
There's a lot of good things about SmackDown Live, I thought. Didn't really miss the boat, but it really didn't. But it was pretty good. There were some parts where I was like, I hope they stick the landing here, and then, it did. It did. But yeah, the opening part with Shinsuke and Dolph, I enjoyed that. I like that Dolph came out and was razzling him and being he was basically just being like a high school bully, and stuff like that, and yeah, I actually enjoyed that. Yeah, and then I liked Shinsuke's thing, like the whole thing about saying he's like, yeah, his real name is Michael, and he had brothers Tito, and like
that was the best thing for me.
That was great, and then Shinsuke took the mic and then said his thing, which was clever, and yeah, I liked the opening segment, so that was good. Yeah, the match between Baron Corbin and AJ Styles, I enjoyed everything going on with them, and Kevin Owens on commentary once again, spectacular, funny. And I absolutely loved when he just goes, Byron, you are so terrible. You're making me miss Michael Cole. Do you know how bad that is? Like, I was just like, but yeah, once again, I enjoyed Booker on Raw.
Yep.
I just want Otunga to keep making that movie forever, and then have Booker just stay on the commentary for Raw.
I 100% agree.
Like I said, David Otunga seems like a nice guy. He's just not that great at commentary. Booker I like on commentary because Booker has personality. Otunga's just like, hey, I'm a nice guy, but Booker is Booker,
because he knows how to ask questions. I mean, even though they're written down, Booker knows how to ask questions, not in a what's the way,
like reading off the
grocery
list kind of way.
It's a script. If you're a bad actor, it's not going to do well. But Booker's been in wrestling for such a long time that when he's used to it, and two, he knows how to ask a question off of the page. So you're absolutely right. I keep him there.
Yeah, that's how we feel. Hashtag keep Booker here.
Yes.
Keep Booker raw. Whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
Keep Booker raw because it's funny and it sounds goofy.
Very, very so much so.
Man, I just had it and I lost it. The Randy Orton Eric Rowan DQ match was fun. I really enjoyed that quite a bit. And then Jinder came out, so it looks like that's still happening too. So I actually liked the whole Jinder and Randy Orton thing, and I liked that Jinder's got like a posse, going on with the Bollywood boys and
the Singh brothers now.
They're the Singh brothers now.
Yeah,
okay.
What's his name? Tom corrected himself. He said the Bollywood boys. I mean, corrected by making us know that the Bollywood boys are no longer called the Bollywood boys. Now they're called the Singh brothers.
Okay.
So those are the Bollywood boys, and then he was switched into saying it was the Singh brothers. So yeah, they're the Singh brothers now.
And then Jinder stole the belt. So I actually like this. This is like a Rock Austin thing.
This is old school. It's an old school feel.
Like this happened once or twice with Rock and Austin, so I totally like that.
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to see where that goes, and I'm actually really looking forward to this being a feud and stuff like that because there's some heat there, and stuff like that, and so.
Yeah, because when I was watching because I blah blah. I couldn't watch this live, and so I saw a picture with Jinder and the title. I was like, they have a match last night? Did Jinder win the title? What the heck happened? And so when I watched it, I was like, oh, he just stole it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. But you're right. It has that old school feel. It's nice. It's a nice throwback to the wackiness of what wrestling used to be. Like Jinder knows it's not his, but he's got it, and so that's all that matters.
Yeah. I didn't win the WWE Championship, but I have it in my possession.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, that whole thing was actually really, really good between him and Randy. I enjoyed that. That was really good. And then, like I said, the match between Baron and AJ was enjoyable, and then, you know, Kevin Owens coming in and then helping beat up. And I like how they stared each other down like they were gonna fight, and they both just went running down and started beating up AJ. And then Sammy came out to kind of help AJ and stuff. So hopefully next week we'll get a tag team between those four guys.
Ooh, that would be good.
I really hope that happens next week. I think that'd be awesome. Jinx. All right, I release you from the jinx. But and then yeah, I'm sure you have some stuff that you'll bring up in case I miss, because there's so much good stuff, the stuff that I enjoyed there's some of it I probably left out. But the main event I really, really enjoyed too. But we can save that, talk about it last if you want.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I'll turn it over to you. What did you enjoy about the SmackDown?
Yeah, my favorite thing was the opener. When Shinsuke was in NXT, I thought he didn't do very well on the mic, in my opinion. I thought he could have done better. This was brilliant for me. Dolph coming out and actually, I mean, one of Shinsuke's favorite things is Michael Jackson. That's you know,
a big influence on him.
Yeah, it's a big influence on his style. And so that whole thing, when Dolph was talking about, let me tell you the backstory. His name's actually Michael. He tells the whole Jackson story, which was hilarious. And then, you know, does a couple things. So that's really, really funny. And then Shinsuke turns it back on him and does the whole thing in Japanese. But one of the last words you get to hear is jackass. That was great.
Yeah.
That was really, really funny. So I really, really enjoyed that. The reverse suplex was really cool looking too. So that was probably my favorite thing on the card. I'm trying to think of anything that you hadn't said. I thought Charlotte was extra, extra, extra tan.
Yeah.
She
must have just got back from Cabo or something.
Yeah. Yeah. But since you haven't talked about them, the two tag team matches. I like the concept.
Yes.
But there were only two of them.
Yes.
If there were 4 or 5, the concept would have been cooler. I like this concept of one team going out, setting the time, and then the other teams have to break it. I love that. There were only 2 matches.
Yeah.
And so there should have been at least 3 or 4 matches to actually get that concept life, because I like that concept. I really, really do. But we get you know, American Alpha beat the Clones. There was one really cool move, the cool submission after the Russian leg sweep was really, really neat. And so American Alpha sets the time 5:17. And so later on we get a match with Breezango and the Ascension, and Breezango beats that, which I'm fine with. I'm fine with a Breezango push. I think they're great. I think it's long overdue. Both of them are excellent wrestlers. The supermodel kick into the Falcon's
which is
Arrow.
A great name.
Yes, into the Falcon's Arrow, right?
Yeah.
Into the Falcon's Arrow is a great set. It shows Tyler Breeze's move, and it shows Fandango's move, which is great. My only problem with this whole thing is there was only 2 matches.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
Just one more would have been better.
Yeah, one more would have been great, but they just kind of wasted this concept. I hope they bring it back. I felt like the concept was wasted slightly. I was trying to think of what else. Interested in seeing what they do with Becky Lynch.
Yes.
Because she didn't come out to help Charlotte, because they set up the whole Becky and Charlotte are really, really close thing, which they are in real life. They're like best friends in real life. Have they turned Charlotte face?
It seems like it might be going in that direction. It really does.
Yeah, that's my thought too, because of I'm just going to call them what they've been calling the welcoming committee. That's their name, in my opinion. That's what they're going to be
All right,
called.
let's call them that.
Yeah, the
Henceforth.
welcoming committee of Tamina and headed by Natalya and Carmella and James Ellsworth. Great, it's a stable. I love it. Wonderful. And they kind of throw out there, Becky, where you stand. And obviously Becky didn't go out there to help her friend. Why not? Is she the puppet master of
Becky.
the welcoming committee?
That would be interesting.
Wouldn't
That'd be very interesting.
Because the crazy thing is, now that you have that stable, I'll call it a stable for now. It's probably not going to stay that way, but you have that stable versus basically if Charlotte's going to be face, so is Naomi. It's those two against a whole pile of heels. So what's going to happen? I'm interested in it, but I'm kind of wondering why Becky didn't come out.
Yeah. I don't know if she's still just kind of like, yeah, I'm not, like, I don't know if it was just from like a storyline standpoint of Becky just being like, no, I've been burned by you before. You're getting what's coming to you.
Mm.
Or your idea, which is also very cool. But yeah, that'd be crazy. It's like Becky Lynch, everybody loves Becky Lynch, yay! And then all of a sudden it turns out she's like Kaiser Soze.
Yeah. She's evil. Like, it would be interesting to turn Charlotte face and then Becky, who's been face for a long time, turn her into a heel to have that dynamic. It's different.
Mm-hmm.
And SmackDown, they could pull that off because SmackDown is the land of opportunity, as they always say. So I'd be interested in that. We'll see what happens. The only other thing I wanted to say before we get to the main event was JBL called the RKO the Archeo. JBL has, and I do too. I'm not the greatest talker either. But when you're in the limelight and you're professional, you should lose some of your accent in order to say things right. And so when he said it was just a quick RKO,
Mm-hmm.
but it sounded like Archeo. So I'm no longer calling it the RKO. I'm calling it the Archeo. But yeah, I like you. I love what they did with that. I love that there's a new stable. They're all from Indian descent, so I can't wait to see what happens there. I'm assuming Jindal. Well, we'll talk about that later. So the final match, we get Naomi versus Charlotte Flair. What were your thoughts about this match?
I really enjoyed it. I like, obviously, like I talked about, during the Superstar Shakeup, when we did our reactions from the Superstar Shakeup, I was like, yeah, Naomi as champion versus the incoming Charlotte. Give me that match now. I want it. Like, that'll be awesome. This one didn't disappoint. I feel like there is a better match scratching beneath the surface, but this is just a TV storyline match, so they're obviously not going to play all their trump cards now. Because this could be a WrestleMania main event. It definitely could.
Yep.
Like, this is definitely a feud to build a WrestleMania around, or a match even. Because if they're both face, that'd be very interesting too. Because Charlotte, who's one of the best heels of the company, turns face and then goes up against Naomi, who's also face. Like, that'd be very interesting to do. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, man. It was just it was fast paced, which was good because I know a lot of the older school people are like, no, I don't like wrestling now. It's too fast. It's I can't see it. But I love that because I grew up watching action movies, like the Lethal Weapon movies, Die Hard, Terminators, and all those. I love, and the Transporter movies. Like, I love, and me, I'm a sucker for anything Jean-Claude Van Damme. So it's like, I love fast-paced action scenes. So I like fast-paced matches. And this one was fast-paced. It had a lot of good moves and stuff in it. I really, really enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Thinking of it in those terms, I felt like the ending matched the ending to Raw. It was just kind of like they came in, they attacked Charlotte, and that's it.
Yeah.
They stood there, they got their photo op, and we're done. Like, there wasn't anything else to it, and so it was a little lazy.
I'd agree with that.
But you're absolutely right. This is how did you put it? I can't remember how you put it, but this is a beginning match to something that would be better suited for a main pay-per-view like WrestleMania, like Royal Rumble, like those kind of things. Both of these ladies are extremely talented, and if they could work something together, if they could get together and work something really, really well, that match would be one of the best matches on any card. 100%. Naomi's a great worker. She puts her body to the limit, and so does Charlotte. And so this match could have been better, but as a storyline match, it makes sense to not be great. But the wheelbarrow stunner thing that happened was really, really neat. The bulldog onto the middle turnbuckle was really, really cool. The Charlotte sit down powerbomb was rad. Keep doing that, Charlotte. That was really, really sweet. But yeah, everything about the match was good. I want a longer one, like you said. Was there anything negative about SmackDown that you could think of?
I mean, I definitely agree with you that the ending was just kind of quick and kind of lazy, but not enough to damper the show as a whole like Raw did. Because this one wasn't quite as to a screeching halt as that one was.
Yeah, that's true.
Because this all kind of tied together seemingly. So it at least kind of served somewhat of a purpose, but I can't really think of anything that didn't. Really about my only complaint was that there was no Shane O'Mac or D-Bry. Neither of them. Like I know Bree is pregnant, so he's probably at home with all that stuff, which is understandable. But yeah, no Shano for like what 2 weeks, I think, because I don't think he was on it last week, was he?
Didn't he come out for some reason?
I can't remember.
I don't remember either.
But yeah. But anyways, yeah, he wasn't here this week, so that was upsetting because I love seeing Shano, and so. But I don't know if they'll do like an interim GM while Brian is out, or
that'd be interesting.
Or if they'll just have Shano run solo until Brian can come back, or what. But because I imagine at home helping with the baby, I'm sure Daniel will probably only do like one show a month or something. I'm sure he'll be on a reduced schedule. But anyways,
there wasn't a whole lot negative in my opinion either.
Yeah.
I mean, outside of just nitpicking a couple things, like I said, the tag team thing would have been better if it was throughout the whole show, dedicated like in a whole hour, essentially dedicated to that, or a whole 30 minutes. If it was not even back to back, but relatively close to each other. But one thing we didn't mention is Rusev, quote unquote, made a video, and he said he's not coming back until he gets a match at Money in the Bank, which, looking it up right now, is in June 18th, 2017, in St. Louis. I will be in Orlando at that time, so I will not be able to watch that readily. I don't know what our internet, if there's going to be internet there or not, but where we're going to be, so I don't know if I'll be able to watch that or not. But that's a couple months away, and so we won't see Rusev pop up probably until then, or at least that's what it made me think about. Anything about that you want to talk about?
No, it was a little odd, but
yeah, it was just kind of okay. I'm sorry, Rusev. I love you.
Yeah. In the words of King Ross, I love you, Ruru. You're still my bae.
Yeah. It sounds like there might be some heat on him because he cut his hair.
Really?
I watched a video where it said that there might be some heat because apparently protocol is you need to go talk to, because this is the image that WWE is portraying of you, because you are their property. I'm just going to say it because you are their property. You have to go and ask them if you can do certain things, with major things with your hair, with your look, or whatever. Because what happens is, if you have a toy line coming out, like Rusev actually does, they have a combo pack of, I can't remember which company, has a combo pack of Rusev and Lana. Rusev has long hair in that. And so now, in WWE's thought is, that's not going to sell as much, because Rusev has cut his hair. And it's like, people love Rusev. I think they'll buy it regardless. I actually like Rusev's hair better this way, personally.
Yeah, it's different, yeah.
I think it makes him look like a bad A guy. I really do. But it seems like there might be some heat on him, which he seems like a really nice guy. He has some really funny tweets.
He does, yeah.
Still in character.
So I'm sure, like, to him to have backstage heat, I'm sure he was just like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like,
yeah.
I'm sure he was apologetic and, about it.
One of the funniest tweets he had lately was, because Lana is going to be separate from him. And somebody tweeted him, he said, So Rusev, are you going to be Lana's valet? And Rusev says, well, I drive all the time, so yeah, I'm going to park. And I was like, yeah, that's awesome. I love that stuff. He said some other things, some other funny things.
That is funny.
Love that guy. Rusev, you're one of the funniest things right now, and I hope you get your due.
He is fantastic.
See.
That is an old running joke.
Yes, it is. So SmackDown Live. Out of 5 Stone Cold IPAs, what would you give?
You go first this time.
I'm just gonna give it. I'm gonna give it 3.5 as well. There wasn't anything that stood out. It was like this is all, except for Shinsuke. I thought Shinsuke did great talking. Like he's improved. He's had time to work on that stuff, and putting him with Dolph. You see that for the last couple of years, we have seen that when people have come into WWE, they put him immediately with Dolph Ziggler.
Mm-hmm.
They did that with Apollo Crews. They did that with I think Baron Corbin as well.
Yeah.
They did, and when when Cody Rhodes was there, they did that too. They used both of those guys as kind of the we're going to train you as we go type thing, which I love. I think Dolph has had his day. He needs to be that veteran guy who helps the new talent come in. And so, anyway, I love that. So I give it a 3.5. Caleb, what about you?
I would give it a 4. Yeah. I just completely spaced out and had a brain fart right after I said it. I'm sorry.
No worries. It happens.
I would give it a 4 just because I just really enjoyed it, and there really wasn't, other than the tag team thing, which was kind of hackney, and the ending, the ending was kind of abrupt, but it still served a purpose and bled into the storyline, so that's not that bad. Just everything that I spoke about earlier that I really enjoyed about it, I really did enjoy. So I would give it a 4. Not nothing too spectacular, but still really good. So I would give it a 4. Like SmackDown so far hasn't been able to do anything too wrong, so they've been really good.
True.
So I guess that was our weekly recaps. But now we will move into our predictions for WWE Raw's exclusive pay-per-view, Payback.
All right, Payback. Here is the deal. I will say all of the matches. We'll talk about them, and here we go. The pre-show has one match. It has Enzo Amore and Big Cass versus Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Do you care? And who do you have and why?
I really don't know if I care. I'll give it a watch since it's just one pre-show match, and it's not like some pre-show matches where you're just like, oh yeah, that's just a throwaway match they're putting on the pre-show. But I don't know. Honestly, who will win? I could see it going either way. Honestly, like I really don't know who could win. So, gonna roll the dice. All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that the club will win.
I'm gonna say Enzo and Cass will win. I have no idea either. It's a throwaway match. They've WWE's kind of fumbled these two tag teams.
Yeah.
And so we'll see. Maybe something will happen. I doubt it, but maybe. I kind of felt like this about this whole card. Like I really don't know who's gonna win any of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. So the main event, the next stuff that Wikipedia has is Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho for the U.S. title. Or championship, sorry. United States Championship. Who do you have and why?
I have the face of America, Kevin Owens. Yeah, Jericho's, in a couple weeks, or I think maybe next week even.
Yeah, soon.
Within the first 2 weeks of May, he's going to start touring with Fozzy because they got a new album hitting, and they'll be touring like all through the summer. So, it'll probably be August or September even before he's back, probably. But
if he comes back, we just don't know. He should.
Yeah,
He
he made it sound like he is coming back.
That'll be good
After this, and so because he said I'll be taking a break to go touring with Fozzy, so
okay.
He made it sound like he is coming back for
Good,
sure. So,
good.
yeah, he's the hottest thing right now. So
Yep, WWE get him.
He is as hot as he's ever been, man, and he's the best thing about wrestling right now. One of the best things, about wrestling right now, and so for sure. But so yeah, I think it's Kevin.
Yep, Kevin Owens. Duh, is what I had on my.
Kevin Owens, duh.
Yeah, Kevin Owens is gonna win.
Yeah.
unless the only way Chris Jericho wins is if Monday night he loses. Oh, they can't because he's on different. Never mind. No, well, Tuesday night because he would technically be on SmackDown.
Yeah, if he won, yeah.
And it sounds like Kevin Owens would be on SmackDown too. Anyway, it's convoluted. Kevin Owens wins.
It is. It's so crazy. There's so many crazy stipulations and weird things for this pay-per-view.
Yeah, and Raw is going to have to move on pretty quick after Payback.
Yeah.
Get in some really good storylines here. All right, next one we have is Hardy Boys versus Cesaro and Sheamus for the WWE Raw Tag Team Championship. What you got?
First of all, I'm really excited for this match. I think it'll be good. Now, it's just a standard tag team, right, match?
As far as I know.
Okay, yeah. Who knows? They could just change it at the last second. Who knows? But
they've done that several times.
Yep. I honestly don't know. Who's gonna win? Like, I don't know. I really don't know. Like, you know, it's crazy to. I just honestly don't know who will win. So, like, if I was forced to choose, I would say maybe the Hardys retain. Maybe, but I don't know.
Here's what I put because I'm in the exact same corner. Either Cesaro and Sheamus are going to win clean, or the Hardy Boys are going to win with a DQ from Cesaro and Sheamus because of all the built-up tension that has happened the last couple weeks. I could see Cesaro and Sheamus be disqualified for some reason,
blowing their fuse.
But I can also see because the Hardy Boys have won the last 2 weeks in their singles matches that Cesaro and Sheamus would win because of that. Like, I'm in the same boat as you. I don't know who's going to win, but I know it's going to be a good match.
Yeah.
I know it's going to be a pretty decent match. I'm looking forward to that. All right, next match we have, next match we have is Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt in a House of Horrors match. First ever, probably last in my opinion. Whoa! Sorry, someone... Sorry. All right, Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton in a House of Horrors match. Who do you have and why?
If it's for the title, Randy Orton wins. If it is not for the title, Bray Wyatt wins.
Yep.
They need both of these guys to look strong. Seeing as how that Randy doesn't have the belt with him, it probably won't be for the title. So that's probably a good way of getting around that, you know. So yeah, I think that, you know, it doesn't. I don't think it says it's for the title, so it's probably not.
Yeah,
so
not.
I think that Bray will win. And that, you know, that will catapult him off to a strong start at Raw. And then this will be the lightning rod for Randy Orton taking off and just, you know, going off on his big championship run or whatever. So that's what I think.
Yeah, I that's a good point. I didn't think about how Ginger's actions will affect Randy during this match. I would assume that he wouldn't have gotten the belt back. You're absolutely right about that. Anyway, I think Bray Wyatt's going to win. I think you're absolutely right. Bray needs a push going into Raw. He needs to be a monster on Raw. And as a matter of fact, I think Bray is the one that needs to. I know they want to push Roman and Brock Lesnar, but I think Bray is the one who needs to beat Brock Lesnar.
Bray beat Brock Lesnar.
I think that has to happen. Bray is such a great talent. He has put his time in WWE, and what they did to him, taking the title off of him and moving him to Raw, it was kind of a last minute thing, sort of last minute thing. They need to push him hard on Raw, in my opinion. I think Bray Wyatt wins. There are rumors that maybe Finn Balor will show up somehow. I don't know if that will happen. That feud will start, but it wouldn't make sense for Finn to just show up out of nowhere. So anyway, there's that. The next match I have is Neville versus Austin Aries for the Cruiserweight Championship. Who do you have and why?
I have the King of the Cruiserweights, Austin Aries. No. Swerve. No, yeah, I think Neville's going to win. I think he's going to have that belt for like 500 days. I think he's going to have it for a really long time. And so...
Oh, I totally 100% agree with you. Neville is one of the best wrestlers.
Sorry.
No.
I love Austin Aries. His day will come.
Yeah.
But yeah, Neville's the big thing right now, and he is the Brock Lesnar of the Cruiserweights.
Yes, he is. He is one of the best wrestlers that the most talented wrestlers that people enjoy watching. He will win, and you're right. I wish they wouldn't have green-lighted this feud because I want to see Austin win. I want to see him be a champion, but you're absolutely right. Neville needs to hold this title for so long, and he is capable of doing that because of his character. He can do that. He could hold it for a long time and not get old. Because you bring Austin Aries in like this, he feuds with them for a little bit, and my guess is it'd probably be Austin and TJ next. It might be an Austin TJ feud. Neville, I don't know who's going to be next, but I mean there's so many different people that they could put into the cruiserweight title shot. So many big names that they could do that with. So we'll see. But Neville's going to win. All right, next match I have, which I think it actually will probably be the main event. I think Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman is going to be the main event. The way they pushed it this last week on Raw. Who do you have and why?
I honestly think this will be a double DQ or double count out because they need both of these guys not to lose. These are two guys they are in love with and that they will push to the moon and back. And so I think that since Roman won at Fastlane, and obviously you don't want Roman to win his first pay-per-view match after beating The Undertaker at WrestleMania. And, Braun Strowman is, is something they're really high on right now. He's a guy, and rightfully so. He's doing a good job. They've really handled him well. Yeah, I honestly think it'll be like a double DQ or a double count out or something of the sort. Or one of them will win or lose by DQ or something like.
Yeah, if they use this feud to kind of continue, because they need something to connect the dots from Roman to Brock, if that's what they're truly going to do for WrestleMania. If they use this to kind of fuel or kind of connect the dots or whatever, and I think Braun's going to win. I used to think Roman was going to win, but the way they've handled Roman as being kind of he is seen as hurt, very very hurt, and Braun lost to Kalisto, but he lost because he was careless, if you will. Braun going into this match is going to be super angry, and I think Braun will win. If not, I think you're right. I think it'll be a double DQ or a count out, or I think it would be kind of fun if this was the beginning match, and if it was a double count out, they go throughout the night just brawling everywhere.
That'd be cool.
And kind of like the Dean Ambrose Luke Harper match.
The Chicago Street Fight.
Yeah, Chicago Street Fight. Just it's not a Chicago Street Fight, but have that same kind of feel. Like they're so angry, they get counted out. Okay, we move on. We don't know where they're at. They've emptied into the streets of wherever they're in California.
I think it's San Jose.
San Jose, because that's where Bailey's from. It'd be fun. It'd be really, really fun.
It would.
And just cut to that every once in a while. Them still, they're out at whatever is in San Jose. I don't know anything in San Jose.
Yeah.
That would be kind of fun. But I think this is going to be the main event. I think Braun Strowman's going to win. But you're right. I
don't know.
Yeah.
I could see Roman winning by DQ because Braun just has him in the corner and he's just punching him and clotheslining him, all to get out, and then something like that. But
excuse me.
Yep. Anyways.
Excuse me. Sorry,
Woof.
listeners.
Woof.
All right. Seth Rollins versus Samoa Joe. Who you got and why?
I have Sethy Poo.
Sethy Poo.
Seth Rollins. I don't know why I said Sethy Poo, but yeah, Seth Rollins. I think Seth's gonna win. This feud's really intrigued me. I hate to say it, it's a suspicion or maybe even a fear, but Seth Rollins is growing on me, and I've always liked Samoa Joe, and so yeah, I think these guys will put on I want to go back and see if they ever had any matches in Ring of Honor. I'm sure they did. I'm sure they probably did, but I want to go back and try to find one, see if I can check it out, and yeah, I have high hopes for this match. I think it'll be pretty good. I think Seth Rollins will win, but if he doesn't, I think he'll get a rematch that he'll win or something like that. But I honestly don't know.
Yeah, I feel like
as far as that goes.
Yeah, I feel like Seth has to win this. So I don't know what they're gonna do next with Seth. He beat his mentor. Now he's wrestling or fighting his mentor's kind of dog, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to win this. Unless this is going to be a continuation of the feud, some kind of feud. But usually they don't do that with these these sub pay-per-view type things. But I think Seth Rollins has to win. I really do.
Yep.
Okay, last match we have on the card is Bayley versus Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Tag Team Championship. Good grief, the Raw Women's Championship. Who do you have and why?
I have Bayley. Yep. I don't know. It just seems like they really want Bayley to have a good run with it, and I think it would be kind of neat if Alexa Bliss, of all people, the person who hasn't been on the main roster all that, when did she come? Was it?
It was last year.
Was it last year, the day after Mania, that she came up? I think
it was the draft last year.
The draft last year that she came in. Okay. So yeah, I think that because everybody probably expects it would be Charlotte who would become the first woman to hold the SmackDown and then the Raw, to become a champion for both of them. I think it'd be neat if Alexa Bliss was that person, because everybody expects it would be Charlotte. But I don't think it should happen here. I think Bayley will retain, and then they'll probably have one or two more matches because it's a very intriguing feud. I think the match will be really good. I like both these chicks; they're awesome. Hashtag girl power. But I'm really looking forward to it. I think it has a lot of potential to be good because they're both really good at what they do, and they're both really entertaining. So I think that Bayley will win, but then they will have many more matches to come, and then I think Bayley will probably start feuding with Charlotte after this Alexa Bliss feud.
You think who what?
Charlotte. I meant Sasha.
Sasha. Okay. Sorry.
Charlotte, Sasha. It's hard. It's easy to get those mixed up, man.
Yeah. I agree. I agree that Bayley's going to win. But I also agree that Sasha will be Bayley's next feud. I believe that. I think that this could be the catalyst for Sasha's heel turn. I know we've been clamoring for it a long time. I know that that's rumors that people are like, oh, Sasha's going to turn any minute now. This is a perfect moment for that to happen. Bayley has a match against someone else, and Sasha comes out to help her. It happened with Charlotte too, but at some point Bayley's going to have to actually be a face, because she kind of hasn't in these circumstances where Sasha has helped her. She's just kind of like, yeah, I'm the champion. Yeah, I'm the champion. I'm the champion. It doesn't matter if Sasha helped me. I'm the champion. She's got to be faced for crying out loud. And so, in her hometown, I don't think she will stand for Sasha's
hijinks.
Yeah, exactly. So I think something will happen with Sasha. But I'm conspiracy and all that stuff. Anyway, yeah, that's what I think's bad.
Okay. So
that's our Payback thoughts, review-ish. What is this?
Predictions.
Yeah. Can't think of words.
That's all right. Well, all right. Guess we can go ahead and close this puppy.
Can you close puppies?
I don't know, probably somehow.
Fair enough.
All right. Anything else before we head on out?
Nope, nothing I can think of. The funny thing is, usually when we close this, I'll go home and I'll see news things, and I'll be like, Caleb, blah blah blah, this happened. And it's like stinking news that happens when we do this. Last week it wasn't like that because we had to wait so long to do our podcast.
We had to wait. Yeah, we had to do it Friday last week because the week was so crazy. But
anyway,
all right, cool. Well, we will see you guys next week for episode 42, I believe. Because I think this is 41. Last week was the big 4-0. So, that was predictions of WWE Payback and of our recaps from this week's shows. We'll see you guys next week for our reactions to Payback, and then our weekly recaps, of course, and our cast for the upcoming Vince McMahon biopic. I think that'll be a lot of fun. All right. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. This is Caleb.
This is Jeremy.
Signing off.
Peace.
Woo!